next guest is a four-time Tony Award-winning actor, playwright, and cultural icon. You know from his work in Hairspray and Mrs. Doubtfire. His memoir, I Was Better Last Night, is available now. Please welcome to the show, Harvey Fierstein, everybody. So happy you're here.
I haven't seen people in a very long time. They haven't changed, though.
They haven't changed.
No, they look like people.
They still love you. They still love you.
You know, because I live in a small fictional town in Connecticut, so we don't see people there.
Oh, you live?
We have pictures of
When
people.
did you, now, you always had a place in this small fictional town, or did you get it during COVID?
No. I moved there in '84.
Oh, my
God.
God.
A long time.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Long time.
What is it like, though, when you walk around the theater district in New York City? Are people just so happy to see you?
Yeah, sort of. I think I've been there so long. It's like, oh, he's still alive. We're okay.
Yeah.
It's gonna be fine. Fierstein's still here. We got a show to see.
Speaking of Broadway, I know you're aware of this. I have been percolating an idea for a Broadway show that I'm going to write, a musical called Cicada Cicada. In it, Christine Baranski, who's a soft yes, plays a cicada who loves Broadway. And she comes to Broadway, and there's a New York Mets-loving cockroach, and I keep saying it's played by you. And you sent these photos, which I think means you're a yes. Are you in?
Seth, I'm what you call a hard yes. I have a hard yes. You know, I heard about the story and I ran out and got that costume.
Yeah.
And my brother came over the house. I said, take a picture of me in this costume for Seth. And we did. And then I turned on the TV because I had to sign books. And there was, Let's Make a Deal.
Uh-huh.
And you know, they come in costumes.
Yeah.
And a guy's wearing that costume. I said, it's a sign. I got to write to Seth, it's a sign.
Well, I'm so happy you're here. This is great because Nathan Lane has also shown interest, and I think we're going to pull this thing together.
I think so.
Yeah.
Do we have a composer yet?
We don't have a composer yet.
I'll call Cindy.
Okay, that's great. You call Sydney, and I think we're gonna get Tony number 5 for you. That's the goal here. Tony number 5. Now, you are a man who is full of great stories, and yet you just wrote your memoir. What was the delay, and what made you decide to do it?
Because I cleared my desk during COVID, and I did the laundry, and I had nothing to do. And my agent said, why don't you write a book? And I said, okay. Well, you know, because on computers, you don't even have to use a paper.
Yeah.
So I sat down and I wrote the first story that's in, not the forward, but the story where I'm in second grade.
Yeah.
And they made me play in Sleeping Beauty, they made me play the king. Mm-hmm. And I didn't want to play the king.
No, you didn't want to play the king.
I didn't want to play the king.
No.
Because all he got was a Reynolds wrap crown.
Yeah.
And a bedspread that you had to drag behind you. But my friend Philomena Morano, she played the evil witch, and she got green skin and red lipstick, and we went to the penny candy store and got her those long black nails. I wanted to play the evil witch. So bad. So I wrote the whole story, and I said, did anybody care? So I took the story and I sent it to Philomena.
You're still in touch with Philomena?
We've been friends since kindergarten.
Love it.
I don't let friends go. Because they can tell stories on television. So I sent it to Philomena. She sent back the photograph that's in the book. She had the photograph.
Of you as a 7-year-old?
As me and a 7-year-old in full drag.
Fantastic.
For Halloween.
That's wonderful. Because, yeah, the following Halloween, you were like, I got to play the king in the show, but you
Exactly.
could only be the queen, but I'll be the queen for Halloween.
So I dressed up in female clothes, but I sort of messed up my face so I'd look like a zombie, which made it a socially acceptable drag.
Right.
And she came as a bum.
There you go.
In male drag.
So you talk a little bit about what was socially acceptable, the way people talked about things back then. You never thought about coming to Broadway as a life, but people talked about you. You wanted to be artistic, right? Like artistic was a word people used.
Yes, that meant gay.
Yeah, and that's...
That was polite for gay.
That was polite for gay back in the day.
Before the 50s, like in the 40s, I think it was polite. I think it might have been the word for gay. Then it became artistic. Then it became sensitive. and then it became stuff.
And you were here for all of it.
And
You
I'm
lived
here
through
for
all of it.
Yeah, exactly.
So you talk in the book about you auditioned for and were cast in an Andy Warhol play.
Well, I was an artistic person. I was working at a community theater.
Yeah.
So, and I was working at a community theater, and in Showbiz, the paper, there was an ad for Andy Warhol doing a play. I loved Warhol. Now, I didn't really like the pop art yet, but he used to do the illustrations for Bloomingdale's. He used to draw the shoes.
Beautiful. He was a
Beautiful.
wonderful advertising artist.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
So I said, wait a second, I'm in a community theater. I'm like an actor. So I asked my friend Irene Stein. She took a photograph of me. I had to develop it in my basement because I was autistic. And then I wrote up a resume and I stapled it together, and all of a sudden I had an 8x10 in a resume, and off I went to meet Andy Warhol.
And?
I got in the show.
That's fantastic.
So all of a sudden, I was an actor.
That's wonderful.
I
So
never
that was
planned
it.
on being an actor, and then they put me in a dress, so I felt very at home.
That's wonderful. Speaking of your relationship to Broadway, and before we move on to some of your film work, you're working on Funny Girl right now, which is so exciting.
Yeah. We did it. We did it first in London. Oh, Sheridan Smith was wonderful. We did it in London. It was a big hit, and then it ran for a year, and then it toured, and then we were supposed to come here, and then COVID. So now we're finally getting to do it, and it's very exciting. It's in rehearsal. Beanie said she's coming here.
Yeah,
She's
we're gonna
coming
have
to visit
Beanie here.
you.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
I can't wait. I can't wait to see it.
And Jane Lynch.
Yeah, what a cast.
It's a lot of
What a
fun.
cast.
Yeah.
You talk about a person who's really special to you, and I think special to all of us, even those who didn't meet him. Robin Williams. You played,
You just want me to cry.
No, I don't.
Okay.
I promise I don't want you to cry. But I would like you to tell the very funny story of how that role came to you. Because oftentimes people see you doing fantastic in front of an audience, and they think, I have to have this person. But that's not what happened.
That's not how life is, really.
No.
Especially for comedians.
Yeah.
So I was asked to do, Lily Tomlin asked me to do a benefit with her and Robin Williams to raise money for this movie. They were a documentary. And I thought I just had to introduce them. But when I got there, they said, no, you have to do a half hour of stand-up. I said, but I ain't got no half hour of stand-up. And they said, well, just say something. So I looked at my bag. I was filming a movie with Alicia Witt. I had no clothes with me, but I had like plaid shirts and dungarees or whatever. I said, I'll do a lesbian fashion show. This is San Francisco. This is gonna be gangbusters.
Sure, you thought you had a hit.
I thought, oh, this is gonna go over big. They had to send guards to get me out of town. And I was so bad, and they hated me so much, they just kept booing. They couldn't even hear the jokes. They just were booing. And Robin stood in the wings watching, because as a stand-up comic, he knew what it was like to bomb like that. And I just kept looking over, and he's laughing, and in the other wings, Lily is laughing. And I said, oh, this is great. So I lived through that night. I mean, Lily at one point said, Harvey, could you bring me a glass of water? She was out on stage. So I came out with a glass of water. The newspaper said I tried to upstage her by bringing her a glass of water. That's how bad it went. Anyway, the next day I got a phone call saying, you want to play my brother?
And that's how Mrs. Doubtfire
That's
came
how
to
Mrs.
be.
Doubtfire.
Unbelievable. Well, what a special person.
Yeah,
And you are too. And let me tell you, having you here tonight, I mean, obviously we're going to work together a lot on Cicada Cicada, but having you here tonight was deeply special to me. Thank you so much, and congratulations on your
for having me.
You guys, that's Harvey Fierstein. His memoir, I Was Better Last Night, is on sale now.